Hello everybody. I want to go over a very important thing regarding your teeth and your oral health that I find among a lot of people, that when I examine, I find some cavities, some caries in the teeth, and they say, oh, I will take care of it the next time I come for a cleaning. I don't have time now or in the next few days. I'll leave it for the next cleaning, which usually is in the period of 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months. That's way too much to leave a tooth that has decay, caries, unattended. Why? Because caries, they progress very fast depending on where you find them on the teeth or other aspects. For example, not brushing very often, or the kind of food you eat. A lot of aspects will make it go further into the nerve. So first of all, very important for you to be aware of the importance of taking care of a caries, decay, which is just doing a filling. Let's analyze the parts of a tooth. So, has a few parts. So the enamel, which is the outside area that you see on the tooth, that white part, and then you have the dentin, which is the softer part of the tooth, and then under the dentin, that part you don't see. You have the pulp chamber of the tooth that has the nerve and all the circulatory parts of the tooth. Okay, so very importantly, this is a healthy tooth. All the outside enamel, very strong area of the tooth is intact. Okay, so let's analyze when that part is no longer intact. Boom. Here we have. How can you have caries? How do we see caries on an examination? We see them, we find them through a radiograph as well as through the oral examination that we do as dentists. So in this case, in the model, we see 3 types of caries. The occlusal caries, which is when the caries, the decay, is through the top of the tooth. So that's through the biting area of the tooth. And here you can see, for example, it's all dark and it starts attacking inside. Here it's an excellent model. When you have caries that attacks through the top, it might be a little dot through that we see with our instrument, with the explorer, through the eyes, and you might see it on the mirror. Oh, it's just a little dot. No. Once they cross the enamel, that hard substance of the body, it's the hardest substance that we have in the whole body, enamel, tooth enamel. So once they cross that, they go on an inverted cone of attack. You can see here, it's triangular. It's an inverted triangle with the entrance through the top, and then it attacks and destroys the rest of the tooth. You see, it becomes a wider triangle in this soft area, which is called dentin. So that's why this becomes wider, because this is a very soft structure that the tooth has. So in this case, it's very deep, it's very close to the nerve. So we have to attack this very quickly. We have to fix this very quickly, because just a few millimeters and it's going to attack the nerve. That's when you need a root canal. And most people want to avoid a root canal. So don't wait until your next cleaning, or don't just not do the filling. You have to do the filling. So in this case, it's a little bit far from the nerve. But let's leave that aside for a second. Another way that we find a cavity is those called flossing cavities, the ones that attack from the side of the tooth. For example, let's say in between here. So a flossing cavity, the same way, starts attacking, look, if I cover here, starts attacking as a little dot, right? And then also, although this is enamel, which is the hard area, they start populating and attacking and chewing away your tooth. And we have to fix this cavity. We do. Because very soon, once it attacks the dentin, so quickly, boom, will drop into the nerve. And we have to avoid that. We have to avoid that. Simple. We just clean the cavity and we put a tooth color filling and forget it. Nobody's going to remember that that tooth had a cavity. But let's say another from the side cavity or even the one on the top, we let it continue and progress and we just forget about it. Boom, attacks the nerve. So all that bacteria, all that rotting goes to the nerve and boom, attacks the nerve. Here you have an abscess, which is infection. And the only way to save this tooth is by doing that root canal procedure. But wait, it's not just a root canal then that you have to do. You have to, once you do the root canal, you have to clean all that rotten area of the tooth. You have to reconstruct the tooth and you have to put a crown. So you have 3 procedures that you have to do on a tooth. Let's not forget that doing a root canal means you're removing the nerve and you're losing the vitality. The tooth is no longer alive. You're doing all that because you're postponing to fix a cavity. You see the importance of it. So if you need to do that root canal again, you have to reconstruct the tooth. You have to put a crown on it to protect it because the tooth is weak. So you're spending more money, more time at the dentist when you could just fix that cavity. And I'm talking about fixing cavities. We're not going to talk today about how to avoid the cavities, but once they tell you you have a cavity, don't wait. Get it fixed as soon as possible so that you don't let caries, which is a disease, to attack and destroy your tooth. Don't make things more complicated. When you have the luck of having a professional tell you that you have a problem on the tooth that can be solved and fixed, take advantage of it. Don't let it go by, because that will save your tooth. So that's the message I wanted to send everybody today. So the importance of taking care of the problem early on, because things get more complicated. Later on, they get more costly, so you want to avoid all that. Also, sometimes if the cavity is it's allowed to be there and grow too big, way too big, and you have seen in multiple of my videos that happening, the extent is so bad that it cannot even be saved with a root canal or any other thing. So the tooth needs to be extracted, and that's the ultimate loss of a tooth, which is very problematic. Once you lose a tooth, a lot of problems start arising. So remember, take good care of your oral health. Prevention and early treatment is the key. Thank you so much for watching the videos. I will continue posting and answering questions so that I can help you have a healthy smile. Thank you so much. I am Dr. Valeria Soltanik.